What's your excitement for the challenge this week when it gets a pretty high volume passing offense?
I'm really excited. They're a great team. Definitely should be a challenge for our defense, and our offense. It's going to be a good game for sure. I'm excited for it.
Has anything jumped out to you watching film of them or surprised you?
They, like you said, they pass a lot. That's exciting. They have really good receivers. They have a really good quarterback. So, we're just getting prepared.
What stands out most from Shedeur?
I think his ability to extend the play. I think that's really, really big. He even if he's in trouble, he's able to move around and make something happen. So I think that's something that we're definitely preparing for. Just being able to cover during like a scramble drill.
There's a lot of extremes in that game last Saturday night. Some extremely good plays that you guys made, and some extremely tough ones. How do you balance the game as a whole? What did you take away from the game?
I think to that, like that's when people say, you can't get too high, you can't get too low. There's going to be good plays, there's going to be bad plays. Like I feel like I'm an example of that. And so you can't get too excited, you can't get too down on yourself. You just have to have the next play mindset regardless of what's going on.
Did you feel like the team stayed at an even level throughout that game, as the good and the bad were?
I think we definitely stayed calm. It was our first away game, so we were definitely getting used to like the noise and just being at somebody else's field. So I think that was definitely good for us to have going into this next week, just so that we'll be able to be prepared for what an away game is like.
Ceyair, after watching the film of the touchdown reception and even coverage, what did you see and what did you learn from that play?
I learned that I just need to. Well, I already knew this, but it's like that I have to work on getting my head around faster. You know what I'm saying? That's why I was just sitting here for like 30 minutes, just working on winning the balls in the air, just getting my head around. Because like I'm in position sometimes, but I didn't get my head around in that situation. So you live and you learn. And next time I'll definitely make the play.
What's been your impression of the way Colorado's kind of turned around the program?
I think it's awesome. I think that they're bringing a lot of attention to the sport. They've turned their team around. And I kind of compare it to us how, we had I think we were 4-8, and then we were 11. We won 11 games last year. So it's it's a similar turnaround where you're going from not having the best season to having a good season. This is still their first year, so they're doing well so far. And I think it's dope what they're doing. So.
Last couple of games for them have been, pretty testy between them and the opponent. What's the message like in the locker room for how to handle anything that they might bring your guys' way?
What Coach Riley always tells us to play the game on our own terms. So at the end of the day, like we're not really worried about what anybody else can say or what everybody else does or whatever could go on. Like we're playing for ourselves and we're playing on our terms. So.
You talked about needing to get your head around. What does that mentally feel like to trust yourself to, stop looking at the receiver and get it turned around? It feels like a difficult decision to make.
Yeah, it's definitely like a split-second decision, and that's also, a way that you make sure you don't get PIs or anything like that, because that's when refs throw flags, when you don't look for the ball. So, it's just have to just being comfortable in the moment, honestly, whenever the ball's in the air.
You guys had a really late game last week. You guys got an early game this week. What kind of adjustments in the schedule do you have to make just for yourself?
Just making sure I go to sleep earlier this week just so that I can be prepared. It's going to be a 9 a.m. game for us. I think it's 10 o'clock there, but it'll be 9 here. So, just being able to be prepared, because we're going to have to wake up super early. So just getting used to getting up at 5 or 5:30, whatever time it is, just so I'm acclimated throughout by the time it's game day.
So you start going to sleep early during the week?
Yeah.
Like tomorrow?
And they moved like our meeting times up and things like that, just so that we're getting our bodies used to being on a different sleep schedule for the week.
Do you prefer a morning game or a night game?
I like the 4 o'clock game. I think that's the good time. I think that's my favorite time.
What do you feel like you guys as a team can learn from, a closer game on the road than maybe some of the bigger blowouts at home?
Just to stay calm in the moment. I think that's what we learned. You know what I'm saying? Like it's different when you're up by a lot and it's easier for you to move yourself out of the game. But when it's back and forth, it's you have to stay in it, and you have to trust yourself, you have to trust your teammates, you just have to be there for each other, especially when you're away, when you don't have the crowd behind you.